Hello, Girl Scouts. We're going to give everybody just a moment, per usual, to join us. Let's see. While we're getting started, I want to apologize for the picture. It's a little darker than I expected. I just accidentally ripped the blinds off my window that were going to help with the lighting. So how's your Wednesday going? My name is Layla Ahlers. I'm a program manager here at Girl Scouts of Western Ohio. Thanks for joining me in my home again. I've seen you all a few times, or rather, you've seen me probably a few times. As we are waiting for everyone to join us, hey Tori, go ahead and comment. Oh, Cincinnati. Go ahead and comment since we're talking food today, what's your favorite snack bin while we've been in quarantine? I think mine has definitely been chips and salsa. There's been a lot of it. Yes, I did rip my window, or my blinds right off my window. Oops. That'll be a fun I was really just trying to give myself an excuse to get new blinds, maybe. That's what it came down to. Okay. All right, we'll give it just another second. Like I said, share. Oh, nutty bars. Yes. I like it, Francis. I like it. I haven't had one of those in so long, so now I'm going to have to find those on my next trip to the store. Okay, so we'll go ahead and officially get started. If you didn't hear before, my name's Layla, and I'm happy to be here with you, leading the Cadette Eating for You badge. We are going to be working on mostly steps 1 and 3, so know how good nutrition can help your body stay healthy, and a little bit about exploring how your diet can affect your stress level. And honestly, we're probably going to touch on most of them, but those are the ones that we'll focus on most. And you know what I just realized? You probably want to see those. So let me go ahead and give me just a moment, and I will add that. Maybe I will add that to our comments. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So back to you. So we're going to really be talking a little bit about nutrition. There is so much to know. This is a pretty vast topic. So we're going to be pretty specific. I should say we're going to be pretty general on a specific topic. So we're going to be working off of the My Plate model, which you may have seen before. It's developed and supported by the USDA. So we're going to be working off of what we might call like an average diet. So a diet that doesn't have any dietary restrictions. So like I can't have dairy, so we're going to pretend that I can eat dairy today. And you may have dietary restrictions based on medical reasons like food allergies or religious beliefs or just personal choices. And that's totally fine, and I'm not here to sway you either way, but just for simplicity, we're going to work off of that basic My Plate model. But if you do make common substitutions, I'd love to hear them. So feel free to drop those in the comments anytime. So to kick things off, I want you to help me name all 5 food groups. So go ahead and drop that in the comments. You can just list one. You don't have to list all 5 per se, but give me an example of whichever one you share. I'll give you just a moment. And while I'm waiting for those comments to come in, I do want to mention that when I'm mentioning the word diet today, I simply mean the foods that we eat regularly rather than going on a diet, right? That's a choice that someone makes to restrict fruit or food, often to lose weight, or sometimes it's for a medical reason. But know that our diet affects us in so many ways. It affects how we feel physically and emotionally, like our stress levels, our quality of sleep, our overall energy levels, even our skin's health and appearance. Just so many things. That's why they say you are what you eat, right? There are foods that can cause inflammation, which can lead to all kinds of things, including joint pain and headaches and stomach aches, breakouts. There's foods like sugar and white flour that can be linked to anxiety and stress. They're tied to our cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone, and that can get all out of whack. I learned something recently. We know that excess salt is bad for our hearts, but did you know that it is now being studied as a way to help ease stress? So they're finding that when you're feeling stressed, a lot of us crave those salty foods, and that salt will actually help relieve the stress. So that would make sense why we crave it. I thought that was very interesting. Caffeine is another one that can kind of affect how we feel. It's something, I can't drink caffeine. I'm already a pretty high-strung person, and I physically and emotionally feel terrible when I drink caffeine, but it's a common one for a lot of people. And I know that I will sleep well at all if I drink caffeine. So let me look and see what you all came up with. Let's see. Ooh, we've got lots. Okay. Oh, I love that somebody mentioned their favorite snack has been ice cream and Nutella, and those, I'm behind you on that one. I love it. Let's see. Protein, yes. Protein, dairy, grains, fruits and vegetables, and fats. I'm so glad that you added that one. Grains, dairy. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so I think we got them in. And we've got some good examples. We're going to talk about some more examples in just a moment, but we're going to actually make a plate. So if you have your paper and pen or colored pencils or whatever you have handy, I cheated and made mine earlier, but so I'm going to show you as reference. And again, this comes off of My Plate, which is supported by the USDA. There's a lot of different resources out there, but this is one that we see most commonly. And you can find it at choosemyplate.gov. I see somebody told me to change my lighting. Unfortunately, the way my room is set up, I can't do that quickly, so I apologize. But here is, let's see if I can show you this. Okay, working backwards is so awkward. Okay, so if you notice, half of my plate, I'm going to do this wrong every time, half of my plate is made up of fruits and vegetables. You see some information, my cheat sheet. And then the other half is grains and protein. Most of our plate is made up of vegetables and grains, and then we have dairy up by our grains over here, and then I added fats and oils. That I don't see on the example I found of My Plate, but I do think it's really important because it is mentioned, it's just not necessarily pictured. So I made mine a little color-coded, but you know, you don't have to. Or if you want to get real fancy with it, you can. I hope that gave everybody a couple minutes to jot theirs down. Okay, so we've got our plate, and I want you to go ahead and think of what you've eaten so far today. And go ahead and write that down on your plate. So let's see, I had whole grain cereal. Write that down. In my grains, Ooh, and you get bonus points for if half of your servings for your grains per day are made of whole grains. So I'm doing good so far. I had an apple, so there's a fruit there. And then I had, what did I have for breakfast? I just feel like I eat all day. Oh, I had a nut bar. Chocolate covered, of course. I don't think the chocolate's on here anywhere, but it was worth it. Okay, so I got a little protein. There's a little bit of fats in that as well. And then I know I said I had cereal, but I drink oat milk because I can't have milk. So I guess I got a lot of grains in today. Okay, so I'm curious to know what sort of things you guys have found and how are you stacking up on that plate? Did you have a lot of things? You might have to think to yesterday, depending on what time it is where you are. You feel like you're meeting that, or do you feel like you're really heavy on one of the food groups versus the others? Because I know I tend to, some days I'm like, all the veggies, and then other days my plate is all beige. It just depends. That's okay, it's all about balance, right? Okay, so I'm gonna, now that I know, I'm gonna try to meet my goal today to get all of my servings. And when we talk servings, you can actually find this in a few different places. I didn't realize that how many variations there can be. And a lot of it has to do with maybe your goal or you have like medical or health needs, and also your age. So per day, I wrote down for an average female adult, which is for me, but for you all, you're looking at per day like 2 to 3 cups of vegetables per day. Fruits, you're looking at like 1.5 cups. And that's more than you think. Like a cup of food is a little more than you might think. Let's see, grains. So you're looking at 5 or 6 servings of grains. And again, we're trying to get in as many of those whole grains as possible. Proteins. So do I have any vegetarians or vegans out there? Anybody? Because I know sometimes as a food group we say meat, but that's not necessarily true. There are other substitutions for protein. So I was going to ask what some of your favorites are. I eat a lot of beans. I don't eat a lot of meat. Let's see. So 5 ounces. You know what? I forgot to look up how big that is, but it's really not that much. So 5 ounces of protein per day. And then 2 to 3, especially for young people, they recommend a little bit more dairy because it's rich in calcium. But 3 cups of dairy per day. That doesn't mean 3 cups of ice cream. Just needed to clarify for my fellow ice cream lovers out there. And then oils or fats, just like 5 teaspoons is the recommended amount per day for your age. Okay, so then we've got our servings, right, overall. But what about the colors that we're eating? Looking at what you've put on your plate so far, a lot of people are saying, okay, so, oh, we have some pretty varied diets out there. That's cool. Okay, I want to know, oh, Tori's bringing in some ideas for some protein. Thanks, Tori. Tofu, beans, things like that. Oh, she eats a lot of greens. I need to take more lessons from Tori, apparently. Okay, so color. That actually goes right into what I wanted to say about color. The color of our food says a lot about what's in it. Our more vibrant foods tend to be really rich in different minerals, vitamins, and nutrients. And I challenge myself to put at least least 2 to 3 colors on my plate at any given time. I like to compare to the food rainbow. So what does that mean? And again, sometimes I like, chicken tenders and French fries. It's not very colorful, but that's sometimes. And we're looking to find some balance while introducing some healthier foods into our diet. So like I said, I think of food like a rainbow, and I try to get a few to vary it on my plate. I don't necessarily need a whole plate of greens. I like to sprinkle some reds and purples and blues and other colors in there. So I'm going to share, I'm cheating. I didn't have all of these in my head. I was trying to, but it's so important. So our red foods, so like strawberries, any strawberry fans? I'm a huge strawberry fan. They're good for your heart and blood health, and actually can help support your joints, which, well, as you get older, trust me, you'll need that support. Greens. So greens, we all know those are good for us, but they're really powerful detoxifiers, and they fight free radicals and improve our immune system. So they're really important to our health. For me, one of my favorite greens is arugula. One, because I think it's a blast to say, and also I just really like it. It's a little different than our typical greens, so I like to mix it up. What about orange? So I went pretty traditional and grabbed an orange. Orange foods promote collagen growth, which convenient that I touched my face. So orange foods help with collagen growth, and maybe that's why vitamin C is in so many of our skincare products, because we want to promote collagen within our skin. But also vitamin C. Can't get enough of it. Blue and purple foods. Do I have a blue or purple food? Oh, apparently not. I have purple kale. I didn't bring that in here with me. And like blueberries, blackberries, those have, they're just really powerful in, they're powerful antioxidants, couldn't think of the word, and help with mineral absorption, which is good. It helps make sure that we absorb the nutrients that we need. And then yellow, bananas, there's some yellow peppers and lemons. They help your heart and your vision and your digestion and your immune system. And then another one I didn't bring in, I didn't want my onion just sitting here, but like a white onion or mushrooms are known to activate our killer cells, meaning that they help build cells that fight off the cells that we don't want, and are even said to help reduce cancer risks. So not all foods are equal. Not every red food has all the same nutrients in it, but those are some guidelines to remember, and motivates us to add more color onto our plates. So I didn't mention this earlier. I'm kind of going on a whim here, but if you have something handy, I grabbed a couple things just as I was screwing in here before I ripped the blinds off my window, as mentioned. Then I wanted to grab a couple foods in your pantry to look at what's in them. So we've talked colors. We know some general servings. We know that we need to be eating our fruits or vegetables, balancing those out with grains, protein, dairy if you're not lactose intolerant. I hear you on that. And some fats and oils. So let's see, what did I grab here? I grabbed some juice, some lactose-free cheese, what I call fake cheese. I don't want to show the label per se, but some fake cheese, and some fruit snacks. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's like a childhood thing. I love fruit snacks. If you can, I want you to see if you find anything that hints to artificial coloring. Since we were talking about colors of food, some foods are naturally colorful, but you will be shocked to see how many foods have added colors or dyes in them. like including cheese, which is mind-blowing to me. Not all cheese, but some. There is, oh, I'm sure, let me check out my fruit snacks, see what I can find here. It says black carrot juice for color. I don't see anything else that I recognize. Especially some common dyes, like you'll legit see the word yellow or blue, reds. Those are known to not be so great, so I'm gonna not share my opinion on those, but I challenge you to do a little research about why food dyes may not be so great. Some countries even outlaw them. They do not put artificial dyes in their food or in their cosmetics or things like that. So you have a little homework. We won't call it homework. You have a little research to do. Let's see. Any artificial colors in my juice? No. Cheese. Cheese has a lot of ingredients. This cheese has a lot of ingredients. I should say this cheese food probably can't actually be called cheese. I don't see any artificial colors, but there's a long list of ingredients, and I try to stick to foods with shorter lists of ingredients that I recognize. Do you ever look at your food and think, I don't know what this is? For example, I thought I saw something that I was like, what is that? Maybe it was in here. Oh, and then you see things like ascorbic acid. That sounds kind of scary, but that's vitamin C. Just for the record. Ooh, here's one I don't know. Ferric orthophosphate. If you know what that is and want to drop that in the comments, fantastic, but I have no idea. So now I'm going to do a little hunting and want to know what's in the food that I'm eating, right? Okay, is anybody else getting hungry during this? I think I'm going to need another snack. And I wish it was ice cream or Nutella, to be honest. Okay, so those were really some of the key points I wanted to touch on today is creating your plate. Again, you can reference what I found at choosemyplate.gov. And I found serving recommendations. Like I said, they kind of vary, but I went with what the American Heart Association had to say. But that's another thing that you can consider is just kind of some differing opinions and resources out there. But that can make it hard. So balanced diet, right? That's really what it comes up to. Enjoy your treats, but also add in some more vegetables, right? I think that's always something most of us can say is add in some more vegetables and vary some colors. You know, you don't have to eat more vegetables. It doesn't just have to be, it doesn't have to just be a salad, or you can be creative in your salads. Yeah, getting creative I think is the best part. My favorite part about adding color to my food is, yes, the nutrients, but I love the presentation. I love when something looks beautiful. It inspires me both to want to eat it, but also to prepare it. So again, definitely enjoy your favorite foods, but look for those healthier substitutions. Oh, I was going to look to see if anybody shared some. Yeah. So I love almond milk as a substitution for milk as well. And if you're lactose intolerant like I and somebody who shared, then we have to, if you are like cutting out certain things, then you have to look at ways to get the nutrients you would have gotten from that. So for me, calcium and vitamin D, I have to look at other ways to get that, whether that's through some sort of supplement, or you can find it in other foods. It's always been recommended to me to try to find it in your foods before a supplement, but that is not for me to say. You can talk to an expert, whether that's your physician or a nutritionist or dietitian. Some other people that might be able to help you out if you are battling like certain skin conditions. You might talk to your dermatologist or an esthetician. They may have some suggestions there. If you're noticing very specific symptoms, then talk to your doctor and they may recommend you to a specialist or something, but they may have special diets that go with that. So there's a lot. One food may be a healthy food, but it may not be the right food for you. There's a lot to figure out, right? Who knew that food was so complicated? But it's also fascinating. And I hope today was just a small inspiration for you to do a little more research and digging into your foods. I want to inspire you to look at other aspects of food, everything from harvesting and growing to how it gets into our grocery stores, into our houses. Maybe you're starting a garden and learning what goes into that. Looking at what kind of foods are available, the foods that we eat, and I'm talking even fresh foods and processed foods, which we want to minimize and keep in as many of those whole foods as possible. But there's different things available in different countries and different regions. So there's a lot of things to think about, and I find it fascinating, and I hope I piqued your interest as well. So I'm going to challenge you to, if you didn't create a plate with me, to create one and take a week or so and look at your average diet and kind of take note in your plate. So you might have to make a bigger plate, or maybe you got to make a couple, but challenge yourself to try to get as many of those servings in, or to vary your plate as much as possible, and try to fill that plate with half fruits and vegetables, which I think is a challenge for a lot of us. So then with that, talk to your family about what you found. Can you help make the grocery list or prepare the food? You may be able to teach them something that they didn't know. And lastly, I challenge you to try something that you haven't tried before, like try a new fruit at the grocery store or something. And if you have tried something and didn't love it, challenge you to try it again, because your taste buds change. I used to not ever eat beans, and now it is a staple in my diet. So, give it a try, or give another try, give it another shot. So with that, thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. I told you about choosemyplate.gov. That was a big resource for us today. American Heart Association also gave me some suggestions, so you can check them out. They have resources for the whole family and all kinds of different elements of diet. Again, we're talking diet, not dieting. If you're not currently a Girl Scout but would like to join us or find out more about what it is we do, you can visit girlscouts.org/join. And be sure to join us again tomorrow. We're here every day at 10 and 2. And we'll be back here for another Cadette badge next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great day. Go enjoy a snack.